Hey guys, what's up? Um, so my new job. Hold on, let me adjust the camera a little. My new job is kicking my butt. I feel like crap today, but anyway, I've been trying to be more honest with myself for a while now about like everything. Like I'll have a thought and yeah, like if it doesn't quite seem right, I'll look at it and I'll be like, do I really feel like that? You know what I mean? Like, do I really think this? Is this really like accurate? I've started doing like I think unconsciously doing this with other people, like or like things I see on the internet or whatever. Like somebody will say something and I'll think like, how likely is it that that person actually feels that way about this or whatever? Or how likely is it that they really think that, or they're just trying to be safe with their word choices or whatever. And I've realized that like people are really kind of dishonest about a lot of stuff. And it's like it's probably most of the time it might just be a safety thing or a or just ignorance. Like I know for me a lot of it is just ignorance. Like I used to think some wild stuff and I would just come up with like stuff that sounded good, and I would just talk like that, and I would hear people say stuff that sounded good and I would just repeat it because it sounded good. But like that stuff wasn't really true or like accurate or even how I felt about it if I was really being honest with myself. So and one of the ones that's been bothering me a lot that I've been seeing like everywhere, it seems like lately, there's a bunch of like YouTube videos about it, and people just say this stuff all the time, is you need to work in order to live a fulfilling life. Like you have to work to be fulfilled. But like, is that true though? You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Do you need to work in order to be fulfilled? Because we got to like take this part, right? So what do you mean by fulfilled? For one, like, define fulfilled. Like, does it mean that you feel like you're helping your community? Like, do you mean like the good feeling you get after doing something correctly, really a really good job on something? Like, do you mean like when you look back at your life when you're old, you are proud of yourself? Like, what do you mean by fulfilled exactly? And like, are you sure that like working do you mean like working is how you get fulfillment and that's the only way, or like what is it that you're saying? Because I can, like, you can contribute to society without working. Like, well, I mean, hypothetically, you could be like born just super rich, right? And like you're set for life, your kids are set for life, their kids are set for life, and you just believe in giving away money or whatever and contributing to your community because you don't want to be like the Scrooge or whatever, and so you just give money away, but you didn't work for that money. You know what I mean? Now I know that like almost all people are not in this situation, but so like for you, you couldn't do that probably unless you're watching my videos and you are that rich. And you would think that you could get fulfillment from other things, right? Like you could maybe get, like, depending on what your definition of fulfillment is, you could maybe get fulfillment from having kids and raising them in a loving, comfortable household where they're safe and nurtured and they grow up to be awesome adults. And I guess you could say that that's work, but like it's raising kids, It's not like a job. I mean, unless you're like in like a child care like profession or whatever. You could probably get some kind of fulfillment from like um traveling, like exploring, um like photography, like hobbies, You could get fulfillment from like learning a new skill, but that's not work really. You know what I mean? That's like fun, Like you don't play guitar and call it work. Like, you don't learn how to make clay sculptures and call it work. It's a hobby. I mean, it can be a job. And most people I think that are working wouldn't like they wouldn't describe their job as fulfilling. Like I seriously doubt that like somebody that works at Waffle House or like like a janitor or something is going to describe their job as fulfilling. You know what I mean? If you were a janitor your entire life and then you died, like you're laying in your deathbed and you were like, I was a freaking janitor my whole life. You know what I mean? Like I seriously doubt that that's going to contribute to any kind of fulfillment, you know? Maybe it's like a mindset, because like maybe there's like somebody that works at a Waffle House or something that just wakes up like freaking SpongeBob and is just ready to go and make the best hash browns ever. And like I can see cooking as being like one of those things where that could be fulfilling, like because you're making people happy, you're feeding people, you're like, and cooking is one of those things that you can just get better at your whole life. Like there's no real like skill ceiling for cooking. You're just always going to get better at it. So I could see like being a cook of some sort being really fulfilling if you have that mindset. But if you work at Waffle House or McDonald's or whatever and you hate your job, then and you don't like the customers and all that, then you're not getting any fulfillment out of it. So is it like I could see like a doctor or a veterinarian or some kind of like wildlife conservationalist or biologist or something being fulfilled in their job, But so is it like certain jobs are fulfilling and like certain ones aren't, and you have to get the right job or you have to do the right work to be fulfilled? And plus you have to have the right mindset, or like because it doesn't seem like this idea that you have to work in order to be fulfilled. It doesn't seem like it's true. It seems like one of those things that people say because it sounds good, or it sounds like something a smart person would say, or it sounds like something someone, you know, to me it sounds like it's I think that it's probably like people with like a conservative, kind of mindset. It sounds like an argument that they would make in order to be like, in order to convince people that everybody needs to work all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you need to work in order to be fulfilled kind of just sounds like, I just want everybody to work all the time. or it sounds like some self-help crap from somebody that's trying to sell you a course on how to build a business or something. It doesn't, it just doesn't seem accurate, you know? Like you could make a garden, and I mean, I guess that's work because there's like gardeners and stuff, but like people like gardening, like people do it for fun and for fulfillment of some sort, whatever kind of fulfillment they get out of it, but they don't consider it work really. I mean, some, you know, I mean, pulling weeds does kind of suck, and you know, so like maybe sometimes it's work, but you know, sometimes playing guitar is work, sometimes drawing a picture is work. It depends on what mood you're in, you know. And like I really like potlucks, you know, and and it feels fulfilling to me if I make something really good and share it with other people, or like uh you know, make somebody a sandwich and it's really good, you know what I mean? Or whatever, like make a pot of chili or something for your family, and you know, they really love it because your chili is so good or whatever. But like making food for a potluck or for my family or whatever doesn't feel like work to me, you know, because I'm kind of looking forward to it. Like I know it's going to be good because like you know. But so I don't know. Anyway, I think that's all I had to say. If you like the video, like and subscribe if you know, if you feel like it. Um, I hope that y'all have a good one, and I will see you guys later.